Welcome to the fun. That's right, folks. The Lion and the One bring you the Dukes of football. That's right, folks. The party might be over. The season may be done, but the fun is just beginning. And let me talk to you about our good buddies on this list right here. Rockstar Realty, 317-503-8322. Buying or selling a home, talk to Shawn at Talk to Tucker today, 317-503-8322. Driving for Dyslexia, a awesome charity fundraiser. I mean, it's just an awesome non-for-profit organization. Check them out. They really help teachers get resources for helping kids with dyslexia. 317-643-1105. If you want to look elite, perform elite, check out Zach Deere over at Elite Performance. That's right, 765-499-1005. Look like the Lion. Check them out. And Aries Academy and Aries Sports Vision Training. What? Oh, that was a grr. I got you. I get it. If you want to train your eyes, sports is not just about physical features as far as hands, arm movement, legs, feet, balance, stuff like that. Comes with your eyes too. You got to be able to react. You got to be able to know how far to throw that ball. You check out Aries Academy and sign up today. www.aries-academy.com. Damon, what is going on, brother?
Adam Schefter's tweeting.
Oh, hell.
The Giants release wide receiver Golden Tate.
Yep. So, there was a little stagnant relationship going on towards the end of the season last year because he wasn't getting the ball when he was wide open because, well, your team sucked, but not as bad as mine.
Well, at this point, yeah. But, hey, back to the original question. I am doing great.
Wonderful.
Today is Wednesday. It is Dukes of Football Day. And yes, it is football.
Got him.
Yes, it is football day, but I'm telling you right now, bro, my mind is 100% focused on basketball. Right now, it is hot in the streets of Basketball City. So, I'm
He's thinking basketball so much, folks. He's putting basketball notes on the Dukes notes, and that, sir, is a no-no. Why? Because I'll be like reading the teleprompter and just keep going on, and I'm like, wait a minute, the Lakers don't play football.
I mean, but I fixed it, and it's not always about the Lakers. I think we've talked. Honestly, I think Storm and I have talked more about Brooklyn than we have the Pacers or the Lakers. So
I believe so, sir. We need to change that. We need to get more blue and gold. More blue and gold.
I can do what I can. So, hello, Mrs. Gilbert. She's probably fast at work at her post.
Oh, it's new. Yep, new year, new me, new post.
Yeah, so I don't know, D. What's up? What you got? What's going on? Talk to me. All
right. Well, let's fire off first, I guess, Let's talk about a little about NFL free agencies talk. And we're going to take a little discussion time. So this is football off season. It's kind of like Tom Racker, aka Tommy Boy over at Checkers and Wreckers, does during the winter. Because it's off season. There's not a lot of racing other than iRacing. At least he's got that. I'm waiting on Canadian football or arena football to start so we got something to talk about. But
hey, what about the XFL? Are we getting any of that?
I think it's done.
I thought The Rock bought it. What was he doing with it?
Oh, he did, but I don't know if they're going to be doing it this year. I think they were revamping it.
Okay. I was just quite,
I forgot about that, and I appreciate you throwing back out into my memory.
That's
twice.
Yes, it is. Well, go ahead.
No, hey, let's throw in some MyBookie Man Cave. So we're talking about a little free agency as far as Here's the connection between football and basketball, folks. There's got to be one, and it's free agency. Damon, why don't you explain this one? Because I know what you're talking about. Maybe some don't understand what we're seeing here. So kind of elaborate this real quick while I do some back end stuff.
It's the back end stuff. That sounded absolutely terrible.
Not that way. Not much, folks.
But I mean, what we was talking last couple of days, they've been discussing how free agency is being played out in the NFL and how it's starting to mimic the NBA in sort of type of ways. I think I've mentioned to you about this, you know what I mean, maybe a month or so ago before it even really became any notice. And I think it was more of a joke as in like a real topic, but the similarities of how the players are in more control of their contracts, how their contracts are laid out. They're being able to push the value of the contract through free agency. And, you know, beforehand, for a long time, the NFL wasn't all that big on free agency like the way the NBA is. The NBA, I mean, a star player can, hey, man, I'll sit, you know what I mean? They're all the way in. But it made more of an impact. But now with the NFL and these free agents doing it, you know what I mean, it's making a huge shift in how contracts and how things are done in free agency in the NFL. Speak first of Russell Wilson. Mm-hmm. He might be one that is not yet in that pushing the free agent market, but he's on like maybe a discussion that we'll have a little later on about how about how you can, what time value you have before you hold the organization accountable like they hold the player accountable. So I guess you can go more of like how Dak is doing it, so to speak. How, you know, the free agency and the franchise tag kind of play together. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying on that?
Kirk Cousins.
Oh yeah, he cashed in.
Yeah, you look at Kirk Cousins. He definitely cashed in on a franchise tag. But yeah, let's kind of go back to just the free agency as a whole. I mean, I do understand where you're coming from because it did have a big impact on a basketball team. I mean, you're for one, you're talking about, you know, one player on a basketball team that's got what, 12, 13 total ish on the court or on the sidelines. You might have like you know, practice squad players and stuff like that, but who suits up is about 12, right? What, for basketball? Yes. Yeah, you normally have 10 to 12. Okay. Compared to the 53-man roster that's sitting on a football field, I see the impact being more so in the NBA, like how it did. Football, I think, is it's honestly depending completely on position of what impact it has on your team. If you have a quarterback such as Dak Prescott on a Dallas Cowboy team, yes, that is, or any team, you got a quarterback, quote unquote, air quotes, key position, you know, that's going to make an impact. If you have a, let's just say, I don't know, I don't want to, maybe a linebacker or something, maybe a cornerback. You know, in today's era, there are a dime a dozen who can maneuver into those different positions on your team. Now, granted, you may not have the best backups, so that may impact it. But there's more aspect as far as impacting the game, in my opinion, on the basketball side of things than there is on the football side of things. But with Russell Wilson, I mean, like you said, I don't want to jump into that yet. I'll hold off on that. Yeah, because he plays a key role in the conversation a little later on in the thingy. But you know, I mean, if you look at you know, the increase
of the contracts. Like NFL contracts are starting to get that value, that size factor of the way that the NBA guys are getting, with those exorbitant $500 million contracts. You know what I mean? So, and now with those type of guys getting those contracts, the second part of that is, players getting huge deals that they necessarily wouldn't get. You know what I mean? Like Dak Prescott's a good quarterback, but you're getting a superstar playoff type quarterback contract, and you're not that right now. So to speak, like how Chris Middleton or Austin Crozier or Jonathan Bender or somebody like that gets those ridiculous contracts, and then
because they play for the Patriots.
You know what I mean? No, just because the market value of that position dictates that. Not your value as what your production has been, but what your market value for your market value of that position. That's what I was saying on that, sir.
I got you. All right. It's time for a little station identification really quick, guys. Check it out. Shawn Nugent, Rockstar Realtor. What is up, everybody? It's your boy Dan over at BWSPORTS1.com and Black and White Sports. And I'm wondering if you're ready to buy or sell that home, now's the time, and I got just the person for you. Mr. Shawn Nugent, a.k.a. Rockstar Realtor himself. 317-503-8322. Put that home on the market. Get into your dream home with this man. Talk to Shawn at Talk to Tucker today, 317-503-8322, and make sure you tell him the boys over at BWSPORTS1.com sent you. Like I said, Rockstar!
Ridiculous. So, back to that.
Yep.
I lost myself there reading because I read too much.
Oh, geez.
But yeah, sure I do. Anyway, you know what I mean? So you get position players who are getting money or getting decent sized contracts now in the NFL that were happening in the NBA, which ultimately started with Major League Baseball. They started the ridiculousness. The NBA caught on with it with free agency, and now
Le'Veon
the NFL
Bell,
is getting it.
And then Le'Veon Bell, bam, put it to
that. I mean, it changes the value, and then on top of that, you bring in this added piece called the franchise tag. You know what I mean? So who has the upper hand in the franchise tag? Who really has the upper hand? Who really does the franchise tag benefit? What does it really mean when you've been in the franchise tag?
So what it means to me, in my opinion, if I'm a player, I'm looking at the franchise. If I get tagged, I'm like, okay, so you want me on a 1-year deal and you're not taking the opportunity to pay me as I think I should be paid. On the flip side, because there's always two sides, there's always three sides, the left side, the right side, and then the truth. But yeah, you like that. You go from the player's aspect to the organization's aspect. Okay, we think that you have the potential, like we saw when we drafted you or saw when we traded for you, or however they want to look at it. But you just haven't been proving it like you should, as consistent as you should. So we're going to put you on this 1-year deal. We hope you have a good deal, but it also, in the other essence, it allows us to possibly, it gives us time to look for a replacement.
Or
the left side, the right side, in the middle.
Or we can look at it like this, as in, I'm only as good to you as the year allows. See, I'm good enough for you to pay me for a season of astronomical numbers.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Kirk Cousins got paid what $43 million for a
Buku.
season.
Buku.
When you would only, if you just signed him for a 4-year deal,
That's what you
you
would
wouldn't
pay,
even pay him
right?
that much. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that these players is looking at. You rather sign me for an astronomical amount of money for 1 year instead of signing me for a long-term or a semi-long-term deal. That means to me that you don't believe in what I have. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. So
So you were on
why
the first side.
hmm?
So you were on the first side.
The first side? What was the first side?
What I said the first side, as far as the player aspect. I'm not worth what you're paying me usually, but you're going to give me this. Oh, I didn't add that part in, but you're going to give me this amount of money this 1 year deal. And okay, I got you.
Yeah, it's not like I didn't live up to, like, I've done these things. I've scored touchdowns.
Right.
I've made winning plays. I've led these men. And speaking of Kirk Cousins, and now speaking of Dak Prescott, I've led these men to things that have not happened in these franchises for a long time, but yet you won't honor me and giving me a long-term deal that you wouldn't have to pay me this amount of money all up at one time. You'd have to pay me spread out over a minute of time with incentives and back doors and all those type of things. You know what I mean? And so you'd rather pay me $31 million than pay me $14 million a year.
Yeah, and I don't understand that part. So back to the original question of who benefits from franchise tag. It's obviously the organization benefits from it in one aspect. Because then again, the player benefits from it by getting that money up front instead of spread out. But I think in overall, I really do think the organization benefits more from it than the player does.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you that the organization benefits more than the player. The player looks like he benefits from the monetary standpoint, and that's it. That all he benefits from it. But in actuality, he gets a negative from it because this organization reaps your benefits because now you're trying to play for a contract. And if other teams don't bite and give you that contract, well, if you franchise tag, you're pretty much under their control still.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So they'll like, hey, I'll do this. But the more they franchise tag you, you might make that little money, but that lessens your value as your career goes on running backs.
Yep, exactly. Because you're having other teams looking at this like, okay, he was franchise tagged. So why is this organization franchise tagging him when we've seen him this good and we've seen him have off days too? If I'm a scout for another team, I'm like, okay, what's the reason that they're franchising him? So you're throwing up question marks in recruiting that person.
No, there is no question marks in that aspect. The reason why they're franchise tagging him because they don't want to sign him to a long-term deal. They don't sign running backs to long-term deals after the first one. So they franchise tag them. You franchise tag you this year, diminish your value a little bit. You
That's
know
what
what
I'm
I'm saying?
saying. It's diminishing the value to other teams.
Not as they're recruiting, it's just diminishing your value because of the years, not because you're franchise tag. It's diminishing your value because of the amount of years you've been playing, not because you've been franchise tag.
Okay, well then in a different aspect, in the same aspect that I'm talking about, but a different position in the quarterback like Dak Prescott. He's not old. They franchise tagged him. So that, in my opinion, that's telling the other teams there's a reason we're franchise tagging him instead of paying him that long term. What is that reason? I'm just playing devil's advocate here and in a perspective that's probably not usually looked at, but that's what we do here. We open minds, we open eyes.
Well, we probably should stop then. Really what you're saying is we should probably stop using Dak Prescott as an example, because we all know the reason why Jerry Jones
Yes.
won't pay Dak.
Well, yeah,
because he's had this because he's had this same situation with a former quarterback who is a pretty damn good analyst and golfer and spokesman for Skechers right now.
Yes.
And Dak Prescott, who has done the same thing.
The Cowboys are not the Cowboys aren't the greatest usage of an example because we all know where Jerry's at. Yes.
For the quarterback.
Correct.
For every other position on that team,
correct.
He'll pay that bullshit.
But take the thought of it being Jerry Jones behind the puppet and just look at it that way though.
If you take, we got to take the Cowboys out altogether. If you take Jerry Jones out of it, they would have signed that.
All right. Well,
maybe not for 40 million, but Dak's doing 40 million so he can press the issue.
I mean, at this point, I'm gonna give him 40. I'm gonna say 45.
You know what I mean? He said that so he can not Deshaun Watson publicly say I want out. Because he know Jerry is not going to give you 40 million. So he asked for 40 million, say, I demand 40 million. So it's like, we got to push him right on out of here.
And on that note, we're going to push out another station identification, Elite Performance. Get ready to take your body to the elite level of performance. Call today to set up your free evaluation. 765-499-1005. Elite Performance, where the dream of elite fitness becomes a reality.
Was that your Greek god pose?
Yeah, I was actually at the hotel last night. I was watching, what was it, Gods of Egypt?
Yes.
That's an interesting movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
With a name like that, if it's not about architecture, then it's going to be something weird.
It had all kinds of it. We'll go with that.
Sure, we'll go with that.
All right. Well, I don't know. I don't know. You know what? I don't know because I haven't had my rogue energy today. If I would have had my rogue energy today, it would have kept me focused. And that's what you guys need to do. Rogue Energy. Check them out, rogueenergy.com. Hit BWSPORTS1 for that promo code. Get 10% off.
That was great, bro. That was great. Because I was like, oh, my God, what is he doing? What is he doing? Oh, I got it. That was bravo.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Bravo.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. I'm on one today, brother. We're having fun. I'm back home. I like the feeling of getting back home, I can't wait for football season to start because then I'll be back home.
So what do you feel about Indiana going, just it's so off topic, what do you feel about Indiana going 75% capacity here shortly?
Let's roll. Let's roll.
Just as long as we can go full blown like Texas and relieve the mask all at the same thing. I do like inchworming our way into it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really feel like diving all the way back into the world. I'd love to, but I don't really feel like fully diving head first.
Yeah, no cannonballs, no swan dives off the high dive.
No cannonballs yet. But I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I'm ready for us to get back out. Spring's here. The spring sports, high school, they're ready to roll. I
saw spring football for NCAA on the other day.
Yeah, okay. So let me ask you this, and this is football topic. We're on football. It's off season. Fuck it. College spring ball. Is it the same players, or do we have like walk-ons playing? What is this, like a possible recruitment league for the actual team of the league or the school, or what?
No, this is the conferences that chose not to play fall ball. So they're just playing now.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's not like spring ball, where like at Notre Dame where blue is playing gold, Yeah, this is like what was it? South
The
Dakota.
Ivy League and
Yeah, Ivy League, Mountain West, I think.
is the Mount
Mountain West is at South Dakota, something like
mid
that.
maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I just saw that it was home. I didn't really go.
Aren't they the whack?
Woo!
Isn't that the whack?
The West Coast, the whack, what's the whack? The Western, the whack. What's the whack?
I don't know.
The Western Athletic Conference.
Bingo.
Ah,
maybe that's it. I have no clue. We're throwing it out now, folks. We are being real media people and just throwing you shit.
It's large. It's huge. It's fake news. It's huge fake news. All right.
Oh man, we'll get way off topic.
Yeah, it's way off topic. I don't know. There was something else, but then I forgot. Yeah, I don't know. It's whoa.
What?
Oh, hold on. Breaking news. Where's the breaking news music? I don't know, but breaking news. About 4.5 hours ago. I received a text message in a group chain. This was the message that I have been waiting for a while. Since they canceled the NCAA season and then restarted the NCAA season and then canceled it and then restarted it again.
I know what this is.
And then there was no fans and there was no tailgating, but now
this is the Michigan trip.
The assumption is correct. Fans will be at Big Ten games. We are reigniting the Michigan fellas trip. And I got the text and I responded yes. And I'm going. That's it. Drop the pin.
Pin drop. And on that note, Damon, you got anything for the one thought this evening?
Are we not going to talk about?
Oh, wait. What'd I miss? Whoops.
We're not going to talk about the Russell Wilson part of the show.
Oh, yeah. Shit. Sorry. Way off. Man, I'm on one today. Sorry, I've been in the car, cooped up too long today.
Apparently, you have to go spend time with the wife.
No. Let's roll. We're good. We're good.
No.
Bad.
Hey, you done? I'm done.
No, I'm not gonna lie. So the ECRS guys, we were in there talking with them on Discord before the show, and they had me wound up about some stuff, and I've just been wound up since I've gotten home and talked to them, and then I'm ready. Russell Wilson, let's get to it.
All right.
That sit must have hit a little harder than the last one.
Must have. So, how long should a star player give a franchise before wanting out? Should it be the same time that a franchise gives a player to produce?
Well, I don't understand why it's such a huge deal when a player wants to make his trade opportunities open. Just as a organization does put you on the trade block and lets it be known that you are up for trade. The same thing goes, with players. I think I don't have a problem with it. I think it's a business, right? I mean, yes, it's a sport, but overall, it's a business. I mean, the organization, the football team is a business, okay? They're doing business moves. They're thinking business for the benefit of their business, which is the team and the organization. A player is an independent contractor. This is my opinion. In any sport, in any professional sport, the player, the athlete is an independent contractor that is contracted for an allotted amount of time. If during that allotted amount of time. Yep.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
You thought I was done with that, didn't you?
No, that's what I was waiting on.
If within that allotted amount of time, an organization wants to make an opportunity to trade a player to benefit the organization or to cut a player for whatever reason, I do not see it being a problem that the player, the independent contractor, shouldn't have the same right to their opportunity.
100, absolutely 100% disagree to disagree all at the same time.
Okay. Let's hear this. Because I don't know if you agreed or disagreed.
Right, exactly. So as an organization, and I've always thought on the organization side of this. Mm-hmm. I've never been a fan of a player holding out in the middle or any part except maybe the last 3 months.
Hold on. Can I say one little tidbit first?
Yes.
Holding out is breach of contract. In my opinion, if you're holding out, you're breaching your contract. You can say that you want to be traded, you want to open your opportunities to be traded, but you still must perform the duties on the contract until the trade is made, or something goes on with that, and now you can have it back.
Okay, so now that you have taken my stance away from me,
damn it,
because you've taken my stance away from me, that means you actually agree with the ownership more so than the player. And I go with the organization because of that word contract. Yeah, contractor, independent contractor. I get it. It's kind of like a college athlete. People think you signed a 4-year scholarship. You don't. You signed a year scholarship every year. Mm-hmm. So I get that. But here it is. You as an organization, you sign a 4-year deal, or you present we're just saying a 4-year. You present a 4-year contract to these players, right? And you expect these players to perform for 4 years, correct? Then you, as an organization, no matter what, should perform your duties as an organization to supply a winning lifestyle, or a winning mentality for the organization for the duration of that contract. You know what I mean? So at the point of the end of the contract, y'all decide that, hey, neither one of us are performing our duties, and you go elsewhere. And I've never been a fan of a player holding out or demanding anything like, hey, I want to be traded. But guess what? I still got to show up for work in the morning.
I mean, I see your point, but like I said, I just think that if you sign, well, I mean, we're agreeing for the most part. For the most part. But right. I still say, like you said, you did sign an agreement for an allotted amount of time, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever that is. That's your job for that allotted time. But if the organization has the ability to throw you on a trade block, I think in the same essence, you should be able to tell the team to throw you on that trade block, regardless if it's in that contractual time or not, or, well, it's going to be. But that shouldn't be looked at as necessarily bad. It's not always necessarily bad that a guy wants a trade or a team wants to trade a guy. It's just not a good fit. You got I can't think of an actual example right off the top of my head, but you got so many coaches that are great coaches, and you got great players, and sometimes these two don't match up very well. But you put this player with this coach and they do phenomenal. Or you put this coach with this organization and their mindset of, whatever their game plan is just jiving. And then you get somebody in at quarterback that, just isn't really, it's just not jiving on the same vibes as you guys. So you trade them, and then you bring in somebody else, and boom, there's a Super Bowl. I don't know. It's just, yeah, that's how I feel. That's how I feel.
Okay. Now you threw me off. That's how you feel. I get it. But all right. So on that same token,
it's an objective opinion.
It's
not illegal. Told you I was on one today.
But on that same token, if a team should, why do analysts and fans get upset when players say sort of innuendos in interviews to the media and things like that, when teams do it all the time about we're entertaining conversations about certain players, but Russell Wilson comes out and says, "Hey, I'm getting tired of getting hit."
I mean, can you blame him?
But there's always exception. Now we say all that, and I say all that because I do believe in the contract. You sign the contract; it's what you're supposed to do. Blah blah blah. If you don't like it, you can voice your opinion, but you still have to play. At the end of your contract, you go somewhere else. But there's always exceptions to those rules, as in Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Bro, if you want to hold out, I'm good. Because that team has no desire in winning.
That was apparent last year. However, they've done some stuff to change it up, but obviously whatever you did, again, was going back to that jiving with your quarterback that just ain't happening. So you know what? If I'm the Houston Texans, I've threw away one of the best receivers in the league. I shit away one of the best defensive ends in the league. I'm shitting away one of the best quarterbacks in the league. You know what, dude? Just do it, for God's sakes. For your sake and for Deshaun Watson's sake, just do it. Just
because he's not going to play. He's not going to play this year. You're not going to see. If this man just signed, what was it, $144 million contract? Was that the numbers? Yeah, he just signed that, a year or so ago? So this man obviously has no care in the world about that money. Mm-mm. I don't care. Keep it. I want out.
Yeah, just do it already. I mean, get it done. Hey, you know what? You don't want the money? Guess what? We don't want the contract anymore. Done deal. You're gone. We're free of money. Whatever. Let's just roll. It's like a bad breakup.
Rolling.
It's almost like it's like a bad divorce with a bunch of kids.
Oh, shit.
I mean, just do it already. If it ain't working, it ain't working. Regardless if it's going to cost money or not, it's not going to work, and it's not going to get better. Just do it.
Hey, bro.
That was straight out the Lions' den.
If this kid's involved, it's cheaper to keep her, bro. Suck it up for 18. You see what they do. You see what the courts do. You see what they do, oh, what they do.
Well, I mean, we see it every day.
Whew.
I am not a crook. He's having hot flashes, folks. Menopause is getting ready to kick in.
It touched me. I got to go. Jesus. All right.
You got the one thought tonight?
No, I didn't even think of anything of one thoughtiness.
Well, you know what? I love you anyway. And you know what? Let's go through the rundown of the week real quick. Sundays mornings, you start off 11 a.m. with Tommy Boy over at Checkers and Wreckers. And these are all Eastern Standard Times, folks. Monday, 7:30 p.m., catch me and Rafael Esparza with Bet Your Ass. Tuesday is now the positive powerhouse hour of Quantum Inspirations with
Timeout.
Monica.
Hey, did we silence a troll yesterday or what?
God, man. Oh, jeez. People. It's like what supposedly Robin Givens said to Mike Tyson, no means no. Well, just stop. Just stop.
No, it wasn't Robin Givens. That was the wife.
Whatever her name's. Yeah, whatever her name was. What was her name?
No one ever remembers the hooker's name.
Well, anyway, back to it. Tuesday night, 7:30, Quantum Inspirations with Monica P. Wednesday night, you can find the Dukes right here, 7:30. Thursday nights is your boy, the one, in the eye of the storm in the state of basketball, 7:30 p.m. Friday, 7:30 p.m., Combat Zone, and I got a special co-host this week. We weren't able to bring you Bet Your Ass this Monday, but we're bringing the ass to betting on Friday night for a triple threat title match in the UFC Saturday night. We'll be talking about that.
Oh, I want in. If I'm not date night, I want in.
I figured. And Saturdays, 12:30 p.m., check your boy Steven out over at Super Kicking It with Steven. And we appreciate all the love and the support that you guys show us day in and day out. We cannot do this without you and you and you and you and you. Tweedledee.
Tweedledee.
If you don't know what that is, I'm sorry. It was an inside thing right before the show starts, and I got them the first time. That's all I needed to. Still, no shirt, Damon.
It's ridiculous. I feel disrespected.
Man. I know. Damon doesn't like his niece anymore.
Quick update. Tournament challenge. NCAA tournament challenge brackets. We, BW Sports 1, are doing tournament challenge pools, women and men's. Just putting it out there.
Yes. So be on the lookout.
We'll go in more detail tomorrow.
There you go. On the state of basketball, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, right here on BW Sports 1. Check everything happening over at www.bwsports1.com. And as
Smile.
And as always, Damon, what do we do?
Well, I guess we'll keep Indy sporty.
Pew pew.
Bang.